Internet. How's it going? Um, I I was gonna start on time today, and then for some reason, I guess I was just like, oh, maybe instead I just won't. Instead, maybe I don't know. Not I didn't I don't recall making a conscious decision to not start on time, and yet here we are, clearly not on time, and only now am I starting. So, eh. Um, let's given that that is the case, let's not waste any further time. I suppose that might be the best, the, the best we can do right now. So, okay. Oh, I'm not running side quest yet. I meant to start that. I meant to at least start that. Whoops. And now I just closed the script. Great. I'm doing so good right now. Marty, hey, how's it going? All right. Well, I'll at least switch over to Facecam. Um, or to screen cam. Right, so let's reopen the script, which I just closed because I'm not doing very well right now. And all right, let's kick this off. Um, and then hey, Yakumus, how's it going? Welcome. I I guess what is it like? I have an idea of what I want to work on today. The thing I don't have though is like the fully formed picture. I want to work on gambits, the thing that I started talking about a little bit yesterday, and I think I have like a vague idea of like roughly how they will work, but it's like it's still just the rough idea. Like I have pieces of the idea of how it will work, but it is not a fully formed picture yet. So um, I'll start by explaining, I guess, a little bit of what I have already thought up, and then maybe by the time I'm done explaining that, I'll have figured out the rest of it. Basically, I'm thinking like the events will basically like fall on a spectrum. They kind of do. Like, there's kind of an extent to which they do fall on a spectrum, wherein like event type two represents like one extreme, and event type four represents the other extreme. It's kind of it's kind of a it's kind of the numbers. Maybe I shouldn't use the numbers because the it's kind of a like the number like it doesn't go 0 to 5. It goes two. Well, here I'll just write it out real quick. So for those of you who know what the numbers mean, two, 3, 1. No, 2, 3, 0. Wait, hold on. I meant to space these out relatively evenly. 0, 1, uh, 5, 4. So anyone who knows what the event types uh, anyone who knows what the event types are will know that will know what this means. But like, let me let me break this down because to most people this should be like gibberish. Uh, what so event type two is vote. Uh, Vote is on this side, and then balance is on this other side. So basically, what I'm thinking of doing, I'll just abbreviate it BAL because I did not leave myself enough room to type balance. Basically, what I'm thinking of doing, right? So gambits. Gambits are like something other than actions that you can do to influence the course of events or the outcome. Yeah. Basically, yeah. So what we were talking about yesterday is like we have the traditional events, which or like the original event types, which were like I need new terminology because like prescripted sounds like an alternative to adlib, but like it's not actually an alternative to adlib. So wait, hold on. So like let's say fixed action events versus adlib events. So fixed action events, the ones where players didn't get to invent the actions were decided in advance. Like those ones had the event type uh, uh, like hard coded. Like it was determined in advance. Like there the like each of those events, like if it's event type two, every time you play it, it'll be event type two. There's never a situation where you play it and it's a different event type. You can play other events that are other types, but for any given event, it's always the same type. And like the type that's decide like yeah, okay. So gambits, like the new system that I'm adding in, that I want to add in. I'm probably adding them in, honestly, as long as I can figure them out. they will have some interplay with with those event types. I guess like kind of like so like oh yeah, so to break up the just to put in like these dividers here, these are like the divisor lines on like the on like the like the categories I've been calling them, the event type categories. So on one side we have the vote type categories, in the middle we have the random categories, and on the other side we have the balanced categories. So for like the fixed action events, what I'm thinking is that uh, there won't actually be like you can't actually like oh okay actually I'll get back to the fixed action events, but just so that what I say about fixed action events makes more sense contextually. First, I'll say for ad lib events, I think basically what'll happen is that like there will be like like let's say a meter or like a measure, a marker of some sort that just starts like in the middle, right? And through gambits, players will be able to shift the meter like in either direction. So the basically there'll be like two possible like action like things. I want to keep it relatively simple. I don't want to like go crazy with it. So I think like there will basically be one like ONE one and there will be all as like kind of alternatives, or like as kind of like diametrically opposed options, like one or all. And so what this actually means is that like basically like you can choose either essentially, and then like whichever you choose will shift like the dial like in one direction or the other. Yeah, so I guess like that's what kind of what I came up with so far as like how essentially like like gambits would play in ad lib, like in completely like open-ended events. And so in that case, like basically the players really have control over like what like how the outcomes are calculated, I guess. So yeah, the other thing though is that I, I it felt weird to me to just add in gambits and have them only pertain to ad libs and like not have them do anything in the case of like fixed event types. Like that seemed weird to me. So what I'm thinking, and like this is I guess what I don't have like complete part of what I don't have completely figured out. I'm thinking is that for like so for ad libs, like you can literally shift the the like you know from like anywhere on the spectrum. You can it can go you can like cleanly anywhere. I think with the why are the action tags only displaying the first letter? What? Are you serious? Why are the action tags only displaying the first letter? That is a fantastic question. And why aren't they showing the pound sign? Do they never show the pound sign? I thought they showed the pound sign. Um, that is a fantastic question. um, let's find out, and then I'll get back to the explanation of other things. Yeah, we changed some of that stuff, and apparently, oh yeah, it was literally right here. Um, yeah, yep, yep. It's because right. Oh no, I know exactly what it is. It's because we're taking Okay, wait, no. I just have to. I know this is easy to fix. I made it so now it works for AdLibs, and I'm so the thing like the way that AdLib data comes through is it comes through as a list of two items, and so it's not just li, it's li index one is the second item containing the text. However, in the typical case, this does not come through as a list, which I had not considered. This comes through just as a single data point. And so li in that case references not the second item in the list, but the second character in the string. So what it's doing is it's taking the second character in the string, so it skips over the pound sign, it takes the first character of the word, and then it just ignores the rest of it. So, right, what I have to do here is to simply change how I'm using action keys in the adlib case, which is something I should have done yesterday when I put this in the first place, but I neglected to do. Right, so we'll say, so we'll actually say, so like for I in range, length, minimum, between 3 and the length of, or sorry, not length, range minimum 3 and the length of a list. So if a list is shorter than 3, it will be shorter than 3. Otherwise, if a list is 3 or longer than 3, it'll be 3. What we do here is so we're going to loop over and we're going to say act keys dot append a list index I. Yes. And this is the correct thing. So we can get rid of this. Oh, the other thing that we have to do though is we have to rinse a list. So or not a list. We have to rinse. Oops, I deleted too much. We have to rinse act keys so that it's a fresh list each time. Yes. Oh, and actually, I mean, what we actually want to do here is smarter than this. Because there are other things that like we'll want to do. So actually, maybe I'll fix this, restart the script, and then yeah. So since we just finished that event, so I'm going to stop the script because I'm going to restart it once I put in this fix, and then maybe I will put in the other smarter thing, but I won't delay restarting the script until that time. So act keys equals new list. Okay. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out, Yakimus. It might have taken me a little while to notice that on my own. Okay. And so, right. So now we take out the part about li index 1, because now that is not correct. It just equals li. Action trunk equals li. Yeah. Okay. So, good then. Let's do what now? We could, yeah, okay, so I'll start to write this next thing, but I won't, I don't know, I might finish writing it before, no, I probably won't finish writing it. Let's see. Oh, you know what I could do? You know what I could do is, hey, Wizardly Waffle, how's it going? Welcome. We're fixing a bug real quick, and then we're gonna make we're gonna do more stuff with this fun diagram I started drawing. Look, isn't it so fun? It has numbers and arrows and words and stuff. It's gonna be so fun. I swear, it's gonna be a cool diagram. Probably. Um, probably. Okay. So, so let's do what? Let's yeah, so the thing that I was noticing yesterday, which I didn't super care for, was that like the keys, like the adlib keys were like jumping around. They were like moving around. So oh, okay, you know what we can do is instead of just rinsing act keys up front, let's oh wait, this isn't the right place. This isn't not where I want to be editing code. Instead of wait, where's the thing that I want to be editing? Yeah, here. So instead of just rinsing, no, not here. It's the other one. Okay, it's this one. Yes. It had to be in here somewhere. So instead of just rinsing act keys, I should probably start a new list. I'll write this like in a separate thing. I won't delete the thing so that if I if this ends up taking too long, I'll just restart the script without the new feature or whatever. But no, but kind of what I want to do, I guess, is like so instead of just rinsing act keys, I want to say like new keys equals equals this, and then like and then we do this for new keys instead. And then how do I want to do this? Basically, I want to take like the difference between act keys and new keys, and I want to like only replace the ones that changed instead of replacing like all of them. So I guess to do that, I'll want to check if new keys is in act keys. Cause so let's say so then actually no, I guess we don't even need new keys because we actually have this loop right here that we're doing already. So we can just say so yeah, we can just actually go over this loop and we can just say if a list index. Oh, and I keep getting this wrong, right? It's because it's not a list. It's not. Oof! I keep getting this wrong. It's not a list index I. It's a list index I, index one. Right? That was the indexing that I was doing in the other case, which was okay. Good. Well, I'm glad I at least got that. And you know, I will just restart the script and then worry about this stuff later. So so I'll just get rid of this for now. Restart the script and then finish. Whoop. Too many parentheses? What's the problem here? Too many parentheses? Yeah. Okay. And right, because yeah. So what I want to do is what I want to do instead is do do do. Actually, hold on. If I no, never mind. Sorry, I was just thinking like it'd be nice if there's a way that I could actually see the text on screen. I mean, I guess I could. Actually, hold on. Sorry, just one second. If I bring the IDE up to there, do you see pink? Yeah, you do see pink on screen. I just don't. Yeah, there's not really a convenient way for me to see the text in the game without you guys having like that weird pink band across the bottom there. I mean, I could set up the chroma key. No, but then you'd see other weird stuff anyways. Hey, Zero! How's it going? Mr. Cool, what's up? Welcome. Okay, yeah, so right, so what I want to do here, instead of like just simply like instead of just simply just like slamming the old one, like so yeah, what we want to say is like if a list index I index one in act keys, then like nothing, then like basically nothing. Oh, okay, wait, actually no, you know what? I do want to put together the shorter list first actually because I kind of have to run both checks. All right, so so first we put this list together just by appending on onto new list. So we do have new list. New list is a thing. We have new list, and new list starts out blank, or new keys, excuse me. New keys starts out blank, and then we just append on a list index one, because we need this list shortened together. This little list set up before we go over the other loop. So then we are going to loop over it again, and we're going to say for so for li in new keys, for li in new keys, if a list, or so yeah, so it's not a list index I anymore. It's if it's li is so so we go through all of our new keys, and if that new key is already in action keys, then we just say nope, that's fine, whatever. Oh, so we also need another indexy thing. We need like new index equals 0. Right. So because if so I guess actually we can do this the other way. We can say if li not in act keys, because I think if li is in act keys, we actually don't have an action thing there. Yeah, Mr. Cool. It's been like what, like a months at least. I feel like it's at least been months. I don't know. and because I know, yeah, I used to be here a bit, but how you been? um, uh, let's right, okay, so we check first. We check if li not in act keys, and then we'll say if oops, actually I guess we want to say like while oops, not capital while, just while I'm inherently distrustful of while loops. So I'm just gonna, I know it's like a bit kludgy, or it's a bit like, it's a bit I don't know what, but I'm gonna say while true, uh, instead of like putting the condition in here, I just like don't like how these conditions evaluate. Sometimes, like, I don't know, maybe I should try it the right way first. All right, so while nah, I'm gonna say while true because the first thing that I want to check actually has to do with so like if new index, if the length of, what is it, if new index is greater than or equal to the length of act keys, because act keys might only be like one or two, it might be zero length, right? Tycoon, hey, how's it going? uh oh no. Okay, well, that's cool. Learning's cool. um all right, well, I look forward to seeing it whenever you are able to whenever you are able to get to it. What type of stuff are you learning? If you don't mind my asking. Um, all right. Right. If new index is greater than or equal to the length of act keys, that's actually fine. It just means that uh, we can say so act keys. Actually, I guess we could do this outside of the while loop. Yeah, we can do this outside of the while loop, and then I don't have to make the while loop as flumby or whatever. Uh, so if we do this out here, okay, so right, so if new index is going to keep track of like our marker as we like move across the act keys, because we're looping to get across the list, across one of the lists, but we're moving across the other list with with a different incrementer. Um, so new index is our other incrementer. But if we get past the end of the old list, then we'll just append, right? We'll just say act keys dot append li. Uh, but then, okay, so then otherwise, if we're not to the end of the list yet, what we're either going to do is we're going to overwrite the item or skip over it. So I guess we can say, yeah. So at this point we know that new index, we can index act keys by, oh whoops, yeah. So this is supposed to be in an else case. Uh, because yeah, right. Because if we're at the end of if we've already reached the end of the act keys, then we don't have to we never have to perform this loop. So we can just say, so only in the case that we're not to the end of that, then we'll say while act keys index while act keys index new index in new keys. So if this is one that, if this is an item that was in the old list and it's going to be in the new list, whether it doesn't have to be li, it could be li, it could be not li. but for whatever reason we know it's staying, and it'll keep the same place that it had before. So we'll just say new keys. So if it's in new keys for any reason, we will say new index. Why did I not indent it? New index plus equals 1, and then eventually we'll get to one that is empty. Oh wait, no, we can get to the end of the list this way, which is I guess why I was going to put the put that thing inside the loop, because we can get to the end of the list this way. Yeah. All right, so I guess I will put this in the I guess I will put this in, oh, but I will put this in the loop because we have to check it every time we loop. So you know what? I'm just gonna say while true. All right, so I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say while true. This time not just because I distrust how loops evaluate their conditions, which is a weird thing that I actually do. But no, I'm gonna say so while true. The first thing we check is if new index is greater than blah blah blah, and then if that's true, not only do we append it, but we break. And then in the else case, we say, what is we do in the else case? It's because it's different. It's not a loop anymore. It's now in the else case we just say if. We say so we just say if act keys new index in new keys plus plus else we overwrite it. We say act keys new index equals li, which is the thing that we're finding a place for. Okay, and then we don't have to do this stuff, and we don't have to do this stuff either, because I think it's now all set. So now we don't. Yeah. So the whole point of this was just while. Yeah. Well, you're bad, Marty BM. No, while true is fine, because like I said, I don't care if this is like right, because like when you see something that says while true, the knee-jerk reaction of uncultured individuals such as Marty BM. No, I'm just kidding. A knee-jerk reaction, which I'm not going to say is only had by stupid people, but I'll say is often had by people who haven't really considered the code. And like, right, like I said, it's a knee-jerk reaction. Is like, oh, boo. The other thing to keep in mind, though, is that like boo is not like a valid argument. Like, if you have a valid argument, like, that's great. But you know what else is actually also kind of fine, though, is, oh, okay, I did forget one thing, which is we're supposed to break in this case. The other thing to keep, why did I hit tab and it did not indent the text, it only indented my cursor? That is the weirdest thing. Why did it do that? Yeah, no, the other thing to keep in mind is that, like, there's hypothetically nothing wrong with it. Like, there doesn't have to be anything wrong with it. I think the greatest peril there would be like wasting too much like brain time on it. So I'm not going to waste any more. And so now when an action tag when an action tag doesn't get replaced, like when it persists in an adlib event, it won't just shuffle around the screen. It should like stay, hypothetically it'll stay in the same position. Like if it gets delisted, then it'll disappear and get replaced with something else. And then if it gets relisted, it might reappear in another place. But it won't just arbitrarily like move around the screen, I guess. So yeah. Have we had an event since? Yeah. Okay, we did have an event, and so I'm assuming since no one like told me things were crazy, I'm hoping that they were in fact perhaps not crazy. I don't know. Oh, you know what I can do is I can no, that's a little awkward. I won't worry about it too much for right now. Okay. So. Oh yeah. Oh, Yakimus, I forgot to look up the. I was gonna look up the bug that you described yesterday, but I didn't actually get a chance to like see or like really peer at, because like the thing that I wanted to check yesterday, I think it was like right after I'd restarted the script. I think this is the thing that I wanted to look up really, is that I think you described a bug that happened yesterday, with your experience listing as zero, zero experience, but having a percentage, as if like you were like a percentage of the way to your next level, and yet your experience was zero. So wait, hold on. I started streaming at like 11:10 yesterday, and you described it as happening at like 5:55. So that would be at like 6:45, I guess, of this video. Is around when it was around when that happened. So yeah, sorry, we're going like picture in picture here. Oh, you described it, I think, as like 90%. So the fact that it said 94% right there makes me think that it was probably earlier in the video. I'm gonna, sorry, it's gonna look weird, but I have like finer control over the time, if I zoom the video. So it's probably, you can probably see like even weirder than usual stuff on screen. All right, I'm just scrubbing through the video right now to see where the script restarted, because I feel like it, huh? Oh wait, yeah, okay, I found it. Okay, we got it. Zero experience, 90%. What? What? Zero experience, 90%. Cool. All right, so I was trying to find the part when the script restarted, because my hunch is that that was like the first time your name tag showed. Oh no, it wasn't even. There was an event right before it. There's an event right before it, and then at the end of that event, wait, hold on, let's see what happens here. So there's an event, and what happened, as I just scrubbed like, just very shortly before, before the bug. So there's an event, and do you recall, if you're still here, Yakumas, do you recall if you participated in that event or not? Actually, you know what? I can check the logs to see if you participated in that event. So, um, if you don't recall, no worries. Or if you weren't here to hear me say that. All right, while that's happening, I'll pull up the logs from yesterday. Oh yeah, which one would it have been? I guess actually, is this gonna be easy to find? I was restarting the script a lot yesterday, so there might be a lot of logs to shuffle through. If okay, oh yeah, I guess we'll probably, the video will probably also confirm that too, because yeah, it'll show us like if you, okay, so oh, it was right at the end of the event. It was right at the end of the event. It didn't say what. What? So it said that instead of showing your participation in the event? Seriously? That's weird. That's really weird. I mean, that wasn't supposed to be showing up just then. So that could explain why it showed up with errors, but why did it show up at all? Like, why did it show that, like, name tag? Why didn't it show the name tag that shows how much experience you gained instead? um, Weird. Uh, oh, I have a hunch about that. I have a hunch about that. What do I have a hunch about that? Or what is my hunch about that? It's about the rate, or it's about like the timing with which we process the data. Because if we processed, because like yours was the first name tag to show up at the end of the event, and so like if we processed, right, no, yeah, no, we process animation before we process the data. So maybe I should just like put those in the other order, because maybe it was like, maybe before we even processed the data from that event, we processed that it was time to show your name tag. And so we were just like, oh, no processed data yet. Let's just throw up the old default name tag. That still doesn't explain why it showed up weird. Like, it doesn't explain why it showed up like saying zero instead of saying an actual number. But it would explain why it was showing the wrong name tag, I guess. but then, well, okay, let's look into that hunch. Uh, let's check out whether that is in fact occurring as I described. So where would that be? It would be in the data processing section, which is actually above this section. It's above. It's up, up, up. Wait a second. What is this? Is voices that is okay? Yeah, it's right below voices. Oh, just scroll past it like 5 times in a row. Is it like right here? Yep. I scrolled past it like. Okay. Yeah. So gains. Uh, process exp gains. Um, hmm. Hmm. I could. I mean, one thing. It's like, see, how's it going? um, that is a question for the ages, Linksy. Uh, so yeah, I mean, if it's just that like if it's just that we have to like wait a second before we show name tags again after the end of the event, like that's something we can do. Like we can just like wait to show name tags. That might be like one of the easier options. I don't know if that would necessarily fix it though. Like that might just be like kicking the can down the road. I might want to set it up so that like certain players are flagged to like not show their name tag if showing their name tag would be premature. Um, because right now we just like if there's no specific name tag to show, we just like start picking randomly. Actually, no, I think we always pick like random, pseudo, somewhat randomly as to like whether to show name tags or not. And then like, because every player is queued to have their name tag shown, or like any player can have their name tag shown as long as they're not lurking, and it just that information just shows up if there's interesting information to show there. So maybe like kind of like what we do with the maybe kind of like what we do with the queue to actually like walk across the screen. Maybe we should also put in a separate queue for like whether to show the name tag or not. Um, I don't know how that would work though, because like if I if I got too strict about that, if I got too restrictive, then like yeah, because like having players walk across the screen is very linear, right? Like it's literally a single file line, right? So like every time we're adding someone into the queue, we're just choosing like one person to go into the queue. Name tags are not like that. There can be multiple name tags on the screen at the same time. The only criteria for like how many name tags can be on the screen is like how close they are to each other, because we don't show name tags that are too close together, so that otherwise we risk overlapping. Um, so I guess the criteria for showing an well, so we can just do two passes, I guess, right? We can do a pass over the we can check if any of players whose name tags are queued to show up. Well, no. No, I should probably do it the other way. I should probably like specifically flag some players to like just hold off on showing their name tag. Because basically what we want to do is like well yeah, so because what's happening here is at the end of the event, Yakimus, who participated in the event, like his name tag, it's important to show his name tag in the near future because he gained experience, and we want to convey that. I'm pretty sure what happened there though was just that we were so eager to show it that we showed it too soon before we'd even processed the data. So because there's that interlude, there's that brief span between when the data is when we know there will be data to process and when the data actually gets processed, and like that gap might actually widen, because I'm thinking of threading data processing, in which case we really will have very little we'll have basically zero control over how big that gap gets. We'll probably just want to set up like some sort of stopgap between there, so that way uh, when when we're waiting for that to when we know it's coming but we're still waiting for it, we can just like temporarily abstain from showing it. This shouldn't be a long gap. This should be like a matter of like very like a fraction of a second, right? But we don't know how many fractions, how big a fraction of a second. It might be like almost no time at all, or it could be like a. It just depends how the order in which we process this data, because like the order in which we process the data has nothing to do with which players are on screen at any given time. Like which players are on screen at the end of the event is basically like musical chairs. It's just like everyone walks through, and then and then uh, and then if and then at the end of the event, yeah, maybe the people on screen are the people who participated in the event, maybe they're not. And so, all right, uh so let's do what uh let's say like I'll just add in like an attribute for I mean, we already have a value on the adventure for like their name tag, and I'm tempted to like make this another mode of the name tag value that we already have. Um, it might just be simpler to have it as a separate sort of thing. Or wait, is it with the information we already have? Maybe there's some way to deduce. No, I was gonna say like okay, well like there's a specific name tag mode. Like I think mode two is like um, the mode for showing the action, the showing the experience gain at the end of an event. And I was gonna say like okay, so we could check like if mode two and gain greater than zero, because gain is how much experience we've gained recently. But hypothetically, if someone gains experience right before an event starts, name tags aren't shown during an event. So like you can actually you can have a positive gain value, like a non-zero gain value, going into an event. Um, like if one of those like spontaneous experience things happen, um, uh, then uh, where was I going with that? If one of the spontaneous, yeah, right. So it wouldn't be a satisfactory check to just say like if name tag two and greater than zero, because then what would happen in that case is like instead of showing like I mean it would get the bug out, right? It would get that bug, it would get rid of that bug that we just saw, the thing about like zero or like I mean it's I still don't know why it says zero, but like it would at least be showing a better name tag to uh wait in that case. But what it might show is like, let's say Yakumus gained 5 experience before the event. At the end of the event, it would say +5 experience, and then the next time Yakumus walked across the screen, it would say like +3 experience or whatever. And like I don't know, it'd just be a little arbitrary. I feel like it's not a major difference, but like in that situation, I'd rather it just wait and say +8 experience, so that it just yeah. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna try this. And if this is weird, then I can always change it. So all right, so we'll just say like name tag uh, ready, I guess, equals true for starters, and then it'll mostly stay true. It'll not be true though between when we queue a player to have gained experience and when we've actually processed that gain. Yeah. So so let's go to where we like process exp gains. Let's look for instances of this because it'll be most of the places where we. So what is this situation? This is where players get like the passive growth bonus thing. Uh, yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna. So as we're like doing all this other name tag stuff, we're just this is oops, nothing helpful was on my clipboard. Um, whenever we set the name tag, we're just gonna set the name tag as name tag ready equals false, um, and then and then it will go into the actual ad experience operation, because that's the point. That's the part where it actually like goes through and actually gets processed. That's the part where like the player gets queued to to like march across the screen, et cetera, et cetera, and that's when we'll set it back to ready. So anytime there's an unprocessed EXP gain, then they're just temporarily out of commission. And by out of commission, I just mean they're temporarily not temporarily not. What is this? This is a player initiated growth. Oh no, this is the non-player initiated. This is the one that happens, you know, at intervals. The other one that we just did, the first one we did, was the one that the player can initiate. So process ESP gains. This is this is one place that we could do it here, but I'm going to do it literally inside ad experience, like literally inside that function. All right, and then so yeah, where are the other places that you gain experience? So this is this is Twitter data. We don't have to worry about it with Twitter data because you don't actually, your name tag doesn't. Oh, I was gonna say we don't have to worry about it with Twitter data, but I mean, hypothetically, just because it's not a, it doesn't make sense, but like, if I'm in, well, no, I guess it can kind of make sense in some ways. If I'm watching the channel, if I'm here, if I'm like, I'm literally in chat right now, right? Like, I'm in the Twitch chat for this channel, but like sometimes when I'm testing, I'm actually playing on Twitter. So like just because I'm in the channel doesn't mean I'm not also playing on Twitter. My first thought was like, well, that's not really a valid use case, but I mean, I don't know, if people want to do it that way, that's fine. Like if people just prefer playing through Twitter, that's like valid. That's another way to play the game. So, I'm fine with that. It's a weird way. Well, I'm not even gonna pass judgment on it. It's not the way I expected people to play the game, but whatever. That's fine. um, okay, so so I guess I do want to do the not ready thing here as well. Why not? Do do do. So yeah, also here, these are all the instances where where you gain experience. So these are the instances where you gain experience because oh whoops, ooh no, that indents further. Sometimes I'm really bad at indenting things. I introduce a lot of bugs by accidentally like cutting off else cases, so they like change like which conditional statement they're the else case to, which conditional case they are the alternative. All right, let's do what? We have right. So we have more instances to touch up. This is where you gain experience by participating late in an event. You can participate in an event after the end of the event, and if you do, this is where that gets processed. Oops, rubble. There we go. And what else? You can participate during an event. You can participate for the event as it happens. Name tag. If this gets confusing, I could just like make a separate function for like this, basically, the process gains XP adding thing. The reason I don't have it now is because like even though this like silly little thing is like very similar in a lot of places, there are subtle differences like in each place. Like sometimes we care about the passive amount, sometimes we don't, sometimes we're flagging name tags, sometimes we're not. So yeah. Is that nope, what is this? Oh, this is oh no, this one we don't have to worry about because this is the one where you're not gaining experience, you're only gaining passive points, and that doesn't incur like the name tag because that's not actually an XP gain. Hey, Asado, how's it going? Uh, yeah. Jerk internet. Would I rather that you use freely available 3D models in your game or your own 2D sprites? So, without even considering like the objects in that sentence, I'll say I personally prefer you to use your own things. The question between 3D models or 2D sprites, if it's gonna break your game to have to use 2D sprites, like if you were really banking on 3D models, or if like 3D models are really important to your game, like that's fine. Like that's not the worst thing in the world. I would strongly encourage you to use 2D sprites. So as long as it doesn't like ruin your life, then I would say go with 2D sprites. Uh, um, I don't know if I've seen your sprite work before. Have I? I forget. I've seen your code work. I look forward to seeing your art. um, all right. So yeah. So this is not actually experience gain. We process experience gains because like it's the same data file that keeps that information, but this is not technically experience. It's potential experience. So it's nothing that we care about for the name tag. This is where the GM gains experience. And yeah, I'll do it here anyways. I don't know if this is strictly necessary, but it couldn't hurt to do it here. So yeah, and then I was just wondering, like, or I was just thinking, like, the name tag modes that I have set up, like, they might not be necessary anymore. Like, I might just be able to infer that stuff just based on other things, right? Because like it used to be the case that like you could gain experience in a situation where I didn't really particularly care to show your it on your name tag, but now anytime you gain experience, like that would get shown on your name tag. Um, so if this Yeah, the thing that was just occurring to me is that like depending on how it's set up that old like mode system, like that could be causing like some bugs. Like there could be like if I wasn't like fastidious about like keeping that up to date, like if I wasn't like good about like cleaning up the code there, then that would that could be like a gap. That could be a pitfall. But I'll wait. I'll wait to see if it works. I don't know. Hypothetically, I might want to use that again at some point, like if I ever reintroduce a situation wherein you gain experience, but we don't want to show your name tag for whatever reason. I don't know. Okay, let's So right, okay. So I think that's all the situations where you can gain experience, right? Yeah. Those are all so now when we add the experience on, like when we actually process that gain, let's go in and set the name tag as ready. So that is in adding experience. This is adding player. So it should be right underneath adding player. Add experience. So we we AQ them, and this is only in the case that they're not lurking. Although we didn't only set the name tag in the cases where they're not lurking. So I guess regardless of whether they're lurking or not, we will say name tag ready again. We will say oh crumpets, crumpets and tea. I just I don't know. Oh my gosh, I do indexing errors so much. I do indexing errors so much. Eligible list is I was just copy and pasting. I was just like la 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 copy paste this to like a million different places. But eligible list is not relevant in a million different places. So I now have to go back to all of those cases where I said that and change that because whoops. Okay, so no, what we actually say is player dictionary index name. And in this case, this is when we say name tag ready equals true again. Okay, so gosh, I am a silly person. All right, this is the case where it actually is eligible list I. In this case, it is also eligible list I. Okay, so the first two, that was actually correct. After that, though, this is like name. This is supposed to be name, not eligible list I. This one is supposed to be name, not eligible list I. Uh, whoops. All right, this one is supposed to be name, not eligible list I. It's oftentimes name, because this is the player's name. The reason it was eligible list I is because in that case, in this case it's p key. That was the case wherein we were looking through that was the passive growth opportunities where we work from a list of players who may or may not be eligible, or we filter the full list of players down into the list of players who are eligible. All right, in this case, it's GM name. Okay, that would have been that would have been a really subtle bug, but it wouldn't have fixed anything the way I'd had it before. Now it should actually be fixed. Okay. Oh, right. But okay, so now no, all we're doing now so far is just tracking whether the name tag is ready. Um, Instead, now I should be setting it up so this actually does anything. So now when we're choosing name taggageness, like when we're when we're setting up name tags, uh, let's go to that section of the name tag. Let's go to, where is that? That's in like the animation block. It's where I think it's at the end of this block here. We choose like whether to. Oh, it's like when we're setting up like clear values, player dictionary. Where do we No, I went too far. We're setting up like if clear. Yeah, if clear. So before we even do this, so if name tag is greater than 0 and or so let's say so first let's just say if player name tag ready and all these other things. So this is just another condition for whether we're showing their name tag now. Yeah. Okay. Good. Oh, right. And in this case, it's li. It's not. I almost did another index error. It's not GM name. It's li. Oh man, that would have prevented. Yeah. Oh, that would have been weird. That would have done some weird stuff. No, it probably would have caused a crash. Yep. All right. Honestly, I prefer some of my errors to cause a crash because if they're really obscure errors, like the influence bug error, if that had just caused a crash instead, that would have been really nice. I guess it's just one of those things that like I'm so used to, I'm still not fully used to working in Python where you can just make up variables out of thin air. Like you can reference variables that don't actually exist in this context and like Python's just like, "Oh, sure. Let's yeah, how about that?" Right? In C, like as soon as I copy and pasted it, it would have given me a squiggly line because like that like there was nothing with that name in that context, but all right. um, so, yeah, good. I think we're fixed there. Thank you again, Yakimus, for highlighting these subtle things that I am fully capable of ignoring, or not even ignoring, but just like being completely oblivious to them. I could have gone a very long time without ever noticing or realizing that was actually happening. So, um, uh, um, let's Oh, thank you. Oh, wait. I'm guessing you meant your site. Could you post the link to it again? Zero. I think I can remember what it is. It's beach. Or no, wait, no. It's Speedruns Vacation. Uh, speedrunsvacation.com. But I don't know. Yeah, look at that. Um, uh, I I know this. Oh, you know what? I should say this more often, I guess, because from what I gather, this is like this rule of mine is like the opposite of like what a lot of people's rules are. Like if people have cool projects that they're working on that they think other people might like you're welcome to talk about that. Like in a lot of channels, like um, the rule is like you're not allowed to talk about your own stuff, and like so I will put a caveat that like please don't come here just for the purposes of advertising. And like if you sound more like a salesperson than a person, then you entirely likely will get banned. But like uh if you like I don't know, yeah. Okay. uh let's let's what? Uh yeah, we can do other stuff now. We can get back to the stuff that we were actually planning on working on today. So my diagram. Okay, so the dial. Yeah, okay. So I think so just to recap because this it was a while ago that I started drawing this. It was like an hour ago that I started drawing this. So right now what I was as I was thinking about this yesterday, there's currently like a spectrum of event types. Like the events kind of like go from like vote as one extreme to like balance as the other extreme. And then like in the in between, like they kind of there's kind of like a blend from like one to the other. Like three is a little more balanced than two in terms of like vote, but it's still to like the voting extreme. Like these are like the voting extremes, and then like zero is like zero and one are neither vote nor balance, but like zero is a little more vote and well not it's not like vote. Yeah, actually like vote isn't really what they represent. It's actually like it's more like one and all is what I'm realizing is like what the spectrum represents. So like random's kind of in the center. Vote is on one extreme and balance is on the other extreme. Like in so on this extreme, the two is like the extreme of like the singular case. Like in this exactly one action wins, and it's the action chosen by the group. In the exact other extreme, exactly all actions can win, and it's the actions of the group. So like, so yeah, so the spectrum, like if you line it up as such, like it kind of turns out to be the spectrum of like one versus all, or like like so like okay, well so these one and all tags that I've written down here are like what I'm thinking might be the case for the the gambits as I've been calling them like this new thing that I want to do. So like so basically like yeah, so with gambits like you'd have two options, one or all. And what that lets you influence is essentially like this spectrum here, and like specifically where events fall on the spectrum. So for what? So yeah, so right for ad lib events, players could use like these one and all tags to basically like push the needle like anywhere on the spectrum. Like it'll start like I was saying before, like most pretty much all like ad lib events like were feeling like pretty random to me. Like when I tried to write ad lib like prescripted ad lib events like that were fixed as event type 2, like that felt really weird. And like event type 4, like I just like couldn't. I like couldn't. It was like hurting my brain to like try and it just felt disingenuous. So like yeah, so what I realized is that like the outcomes of these things shouldn't be set in stone. They should be well, this is a game, so why not let people play at what these should be or what these will be? Uh, Technically, I'm not even talking about coding right now. I'm mostly just talking about like game logic. It's probably confusing that the number is like 23015. Like I can get rid of those. Like it's basically like this is like the vote section, and there are two different event types in the vote section. This is the random section. There are two event types in the random section. This is the balance section. There are two event types. So yeah, right. So for ad libs, basically like you can basically so okay. So to put it in plain language, in ad libbed events, players can control the event type. Um, and when I say control, I mean control the way they control the outcome of the event, which is, like the everyone has input, but then like it's the aggregation of that input, which actually like yeah. Um, but then yeah, and so one thing I haven't figured out exactly is like what are those what is that method of determination? Like it'll basically be it like the gist will basically be that like if everyone chooses one then it'll probably be one, right? If everyone chooses all it'll probably be all, and then like I don't know, so I was thinking of it like basically like like ones push the needle in this direction and like alls push the needle in this direction, and so like it starts like fairly neutral, and then like or maybe it doesn't even start neutral, maybe it starts like in a random position, or like maybe like it starts in like a somewhat informed position, like it can start at one of these values and then slide in whatever direction. Um, the what was I gonna do? Or was it, what was I? Yeah, okay. So then for yeah, so that yeah, ad lib events really right. They work better, debatably, like with that freedom of like having the needle like go anywhere. Um, fixed action events, like events, not ad libs, but like the events where the actions are fixed ahead of time, those ones don't have the same degree of like flexibility, in that like they actually work better if the needle doesn't move that far. So these boundaries, like the vote random balance, like the event type categories that we've had in place, I'm thinking will be the range in which these other events can move, because I do want them to be mutable. I want it so that you can like players can pull a gambit in these events, and basically just that. Uh, well, huh? Let me think about that. Does it does it matter in these event types? Because the other thing, yeah. No, I was just thinking like, well, so one of my goals was to make it so that gambits would still matter in gambits would still matter in fixed action events, not just in ad libbed events. And like the difference between 0 and 1, and the difference between like 4 and 5, like within the category, the differences between the events is fairly subtle. Um. Oh. Well. Uh. No, I guess there is a distinction in some ways. Like like choosing one is sometimes a little more selfish. um. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah. I like if so. But okay. So the distinction I can say at the very least, like the distinction between the two event types within a category is a much more subtle distinction than the difference between like event type categories. So if I'm doing gambits in fixed action events, I'll probably want to add something inherently meaningful about the gambit itself. Uh, Otherwise, the just distinguishing between those two categories is not going to make a huge difference. So maybe maybe what? So yeah, one of the things I wanted to incorporate was like gambits are supposed to represent a risk in some regard. Like it's not supposed to be like a great risk, but it's basically supposed to be like I want gambits to feel like a professional move. Like I want gambits to be challenging or like somewhat daunting for new players. Like I want like when a new player starts playing the game, like I want a lot of the game to make sense. I want the game to be immediately playable. Because like specifically with action tags, I specifically made them as easy as possible. Like we're emulating like a very well known like paradigm of like you see a tag affixed to a word and you know that word is like, yeah, I don't know. I put a lot. I've been trying to make basically every decision regarding action tags to be as like accessible as possible. With gambits, I kind of want to put a different priority. Like I don't want them to be like like intentionally obtuse or anything, but I want to make it so that like um they're like a they're like the sort of thing that you could easily get wrong, I guess. Yeah, right. Like not quite as like as like the like they have slightly sharper edges, I guess. Um, so I don't know. One thing I was thinking of possibly doing was changing the scoring system, just to because like I was thinking like yeah, right, because like inherently gambits would have some effect on the scoring system because the scoring system changes with the event types. Whoops, I did not mean to rotate that. The scoring system changes with the event type, so just by changing the event type, you're affecting the scoring. But then I don't know. Like one idea I was thinking was like possibly having gambits like an all or nothing sort of thing. Like maybe it. No, I don't know how to. I don't know what exactly I want to do with that. I guess. Oh, you know what I could do? Uh, I can make it so that like maybe instead of gaining influence, or excuse, oops, spoilers, I said that backwards. Maybe instead of just gaining experience for it, maybe you gain like maybe a gambit like can increase your influence. Like no, typically you get if you gain 2 experience, you gain 2 influence, but maybe like a gambit could give you like a bonus influence or something like that. Because like that's kind of like because like influence is kind of supposed to represent like how well players can how, like I mean it's literally supposed to be like how much influence players have over the game. Yeah, I don't know. We could do something like that. That's the part that I haven't completely figured out yet. Uh, um, cake. I wish I knew a lot about cake right now. I wish I knew so much about cake that I could describe it as if it was right in front of me, as if I was eating it this very moment. I wish I knew that much about cake. I wish I was eating cake right now. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And ice cream. Cake and ice cream. Like a big thing of cake, the big thing of ice cream. And you kind of like jab at the ice cream and kind of like break up the cake a little bit so it's like cakey ice cream delicious. Okay, what are we working on? um, okay, so yeah. Maybe I should just get to work on some of this stuff because like some of this stuff. Well, okay. Actually, there is still one thing that I haven't decided, which is actually like what, like how the gambit plays out. Um, like what is it? Literally just that like the result of the gambit is like voting one way or the other. Is it literally just like the majority? No, because I want well. Yeah, I mean, I could just, that would be a very simple way to do it, right? It's just that, like, if 10 people say one and 5 people say all, then then that's what, like a 60 something percent. And so it would fall, like, I don't know, somewhere around here. Um, well, so one thing I guess I'd want to do is, is, to, I want to make it so that like you actually can get event type 2, right? I don't want it to be like impossible to get event type 2 and event type 4. I don't want it to be like that it always like falls somewhere in the center. In fact, to extend that even further, I want to just make sure that there is a good balance between these things because I don't want it to be like everyone it just always goes event type 2. I don't want it so that like everyone always goes 1 like 1 1 1 1 1. Right, actually yeah. So that's why I was like that's like I guess that's like what I was kind of trying to think about with respect to like risk, right? I don't want it to just be like I don't want there to be like one correct answer. I want it there to be like huh. So how would hmm. Oh. Oh, you know what we were talking about yesterday with like extending like, stretching out the the event duration. Like we could have it so that like gambits play in the first half of the event, and then maybe at the midpoint of the event. So like right now, the event just concludes. Uh, yeah. So what if okay? So what if the events were set up instead like this? So right now it's like uh, the event starts and it runs for like this duration and then it concludes. So what if instead what if instead of just like starting, going, and then ending, what if it goes like what if it's so the event starts and then there's a window wherein you can play a gambit and during that same time the event is running, but the but basically like the event actually doesn't get decided until sometime after. So you can participate in the event during this whole range, like, but then this is like when the event type gets locked in, and then like so you can still participate after the event type gets locked in, but at that point you're participating informed, right? So like so for the average player or like for the new player, I'll say. For the new player, it's just a window wherein, here's an action that you can take. And if a new player tries the Gambit system, like, cool, that's fine. I don't think it's going to be like. Well, I did say I want there to be risk involved, but it won't be such punitive risk that like you can ruin your game experience by by like taking a Gambit. I think well, so one of the other things I was thinking about is like, how do I communicate like gambits? And I might not. I might just leave them as like tribal knowledge. Like it might just be the sort of thing that like you figure out or don't just based on like contextually what other people are doing. Oh yeah, one thing that I like, it's not urgent that I figure this out, but one thing that it occurred to me I should figure out is like the like how to indicate gambits. And like I didn't want to use action tags for them. But you know what's even worse is like I just pictured them like as in my diagram, like I pictured them surrounded in square braces. But like on mobile, like punching in square braces is like painful. I probably don't want to do that. I could just use action tags. Like it could just be like the secret action tag one and all for each event, which are not actually action tags. Oh, but then like I don't know. The other thing I would do though is it would make it so that in adlib events like one and all never work as action tags because I that might be fun. That might be fun. That might be like the least offensive or like I don't know. That might be like the clearest option. I was just I was just looking at the virtual keyboard. Right, so the reason I'm looking down right now is I'm looking at the virtual keyboard on my mobile device because like maybe I'll use emoji. Maybe maybe there won't just be two gambits you can pull. Maybe there'll be like how many emoji are there? Like 500 gambits. And so to can you use emoji in the on Twitch or do they just I guess it would depend on the platform, right? Because they're kind of like the you don't really need emoji if you have emotes, right? Do they work? Um, sorry, I'm just checking if they do. Don't mind me. Oh, wait, is my chat broken or something? I'm like huh. I just on my mobile device I just like said some emoji in chat but it didn't come through. So either emoji just get like filtered out or like one of my connection is lost somewhere. Am I still streaming? um, it doesn't say I've dropped any frames. Weird. All right. Well, I guess if I can't see chat right now, then I wouldn't really have any clue. Is the script is still connected to chat as far as I can tell. Uh, uh, testing, testing. All right. I can see chat. Oh well, that's weird. Maybe it literally just eats emoji. Like maybe it literally just like if you try and talk with emoji, it just like it's like no, no emoji, none of that. how how dare you? How dare you? Um, this one's for if this one goes through, this one's for Zero Maverick. But of course, it just didn't go through again. Uh, maybe IRC just doesn't support emoji. Huh. Sorry, I'm just curious about this now. I'm not. I was joking. I'm not actually gonna use emoji in the game. I just like a I just like knowing this stuff. Uh, For zero Maverick. Uh, I'm assuming this is just not going to go through either. Oh, weird. All right. All right. I'll stop now. I'll get back to business. Do. Let's So let's do stuff. Let's do stuff, shall we? um. All right. So we yeah. I don't know. I kind of like this as like a something to try. That's not part of the diagram. I like this as something to try because it accomplishes a lot of the goals that I had for this event. And so, all right, yeah, or not for this event. It accomplishes a lot of the goals that I've had for like things that I want to do with side quests. So that would be cool if it works. Uh, so yeah, so I guess what'll happen, like this midpoint, this this event here, what will happen here is not just that not just so yeah, so there'll be two things that happens at this juncture is one of them will be that it'll give you like so it'll tell you what the event type is. This is the point where the event type is fixed, and so now the rest of the event is just to, and it might not actually even be, well, in terms of like the length of the event, I was thinking like it might not actually be as long on the second half. Like the second half might be shorter. Um, Either way though, whenever this occurs relative to the entire length of the event, um, it will let you know what the event type is, and it will give you an update of like how the event is going. So like Trusty Bard will say, he'll give you like the preliminary numbers, like or he might not even give you the exact numbers, but maybe it'll depend on the event type. Um, yeah, right, because like depending on the event type the event type is really weird, really weird. Um, I don't know, because like what would like event type zero is the weird one. Let's be honest. Event type zero is the weird one because like event type zero just like um it's just so unlike all the others. It's so there's such like rigidity and yet such unpredictability as like what can happen with it. And all right, let's there's no point in worrying about it right now though because I think it should work. It'll just be like very very varied, very widely varied. Uh, so where would I start with all of this? Where would I well, okay, so the one I still don't know. I still haven't figured out. So like the one thing that I haven't figured out that I want to figure out is like what exactly, like how the gambit gets calculated. I guess, like because I'm calling it a gambit, which implies like risk, but I'm still not like I still don't have that like that part is not entirely clear in my mind, and I do want to deliver on that, or else I should probably at least stop calling them gambits. So, all right. Oh, and yeah, I do need to figure out right the thing that with the emoji. Like, I do need to figure out like how exactly these are going to uh, how exactly the action tags are going to work. Um, so yeah, let's let's hmm. Sorry, I'm just gonna look at my virtual keyboard again. I won't get distracted by emoji this time. But, um, worst case scenario, I guess I'd want it at least to be something that like, well, okay, so no, actually, what I'm thinking about this right now is like, how do I make it so that these gambits are not like awkward in terms of like speech. Like one of the things that I've tried to maintain is like that you can so right so for Protospasm, for example, said, "I shout about all the subduing that's going on." Like yes, as of yet, like you can always use like the action tags like in speech, uh, as if it was a word in a sentence, right? And so with the new thing, I guess that's why I didn't want to do it as an action tags, or I didn't want it to like I wanted it to take a different form than how action tags are formed because um, with 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 the same treatment, I don't want people to feel compelled to like have to work it into the sentence. Like, um, I mean, I guess one and all are pretty simple because you can always just end the sentence like with for one, uh, or for all, right? Um, I shout about all the subduing that's going on for all, or I shout for all. Um, um, uh, so maybe that's fine. Um, I can. That's like a. That'll be relatively easy to change. Fortunately, so it'll probably take me a little while to figure out how I want to do that. But I can just like keep changing it. I can change it every day if I want to. You change it every hour. Every event could have a different. No, no, I don't want to do that. But okay. Um, yeah. So let's. I guess that's kind of where it starts though, because like we'll want to like get that uh out of like players chat input. Um, mhm. And I guess technically, huh? Well, okay, it actually would be advantageous to use the action tag now that I think about it, because we're already parsing those action tags out. If I was going to do it a different way, I'd have to like if I was going to indicate it in a different manner, then I'd have to like parse that text again for a different thing. Like I was thinking of just having it like at the end of the phrase, like it just always like it always you have to like conclude with it in order for it to count. Um, uh, we'll see. Uh, maybe yeah. So for starters, I'm just gonna actually call it. Um, I'm just gonna call it the like an action tag. We're just gonna use that for starters. Uh, it's at least I don't know. There's some level of consistency there. There's like a deceptive level of consistency there because like they're not action tags. They'll never be action tags. I could literally just use the words, but then but then people could trigger them inadvertently. Like if people just said the word one or all, so I could use more obscure words than that and literally just use the word. Or I could call that like a fun feature that like the words sometimes get triggered accidentally or inadvertently. One and all. I wonder what is the relative frequency of the use of those words in language. I know this isn't a like a definitive method of finding out, but there are 12 billion search results for the word one, and there are 23 billion search results for the word all. So hypothetically, all has an edge over one in terms of like frequency of use in hypothetically. I mean, that's like I said, that's not this is not a definitive method of uh, of checking like how common the words are used, but they're both very common words. So yeah, so uh, um, um, so the here. Oh, did we have the? Oh yeah, we do have the voice data visible on screen. Yeah. I actually didn't even necessarily mean for that to be there. I just kind of forgot that it was. Um, Gosh, so many possibilities. So many possibilities. Um, I could it could be like it could be just a symbol. No, I should probably just implement one of them, and then I can worry about how to do it. How else to? Like I said, I can worry about that. Like I'm not. It's gonna take. I'm gonna spend. I could spend way too much time trying to figure out the right way to do this, and end up like no. But it'll probably become clear to me later on, or I should just be trying different things, and then yeah. Okay. So it does come through. It does come through player input though. So we have to check the IRC input, and we have to check the Twitter input for these things. Um, excuse me. So, uh, oh, you saw your name in chat? What did you see in chat? Sorry, I'm just curious because I said your name because I was testing whether emojis would work in chat, and I wasn't seeing anything. I saw me say testing testing, like I could see that, but I was like punching in emojis on the Twitter on the Twitch app on my mobile device, and it just literally didn't even show me that chat input. So, what did you, um oh okay, you just see for Zero Maverick, so you don't see the I did the gift emoji, and then I said for Zero Maverick, and then I did the cake emoji. But I guess that didn't go through. All right. I also did the I also did I forget what others. But yeah, on my side it just literally none of that went through. So I don't know what that's about. Um, I was joking that we would use emoji for the game, but okay. Um, I wonder what it looked like in the debug output. Like what did what did it like? Did IRC even show that happening? Um, this is not important. It's really not important. But oh yeah, it did. They just showed up as like as like these like squares. All right. Well, anyways. Oh, the squares. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it just literally like it's just completely missing from my whatever. Okay. Let's All right. Let's for starters. I'm just gonna use the action tags one and all, or just the words. No, I'll just use the action tags because it should be deliberate. Right, especially if there's risk involved. If there is risk involved, then it should be something that like you don't accidentally do. Um, I mean, the other thing I could do is that like I right now I'm like right now I just have like I put like the way I have them lined up here is that they're all like kind of on a spectrum. Although the other thing I could do, because like the other way I've thought of them more so than this, and the other thing that might be like a might actually be like a more natural fit is that actually the way that I've thought about them has been like basically like what like so like 2 0 4 and then like 3 1 5. So like I've actually always really thought of them as more like kind of existing on two axes. Is that there's like well, I never really thought of them in this specific as like kind of like a spectrum, but like I've always kind of thought as like this like these two columns as like a duality, uh, and whereas like I don't know, yeah, basically like there's something in common about like this whole row, and there's something in common about like this whole column and this whole column. Um, I don't know. This implementation is simpler, so I'll probably at least want to start this way, and then like we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So let's say what? Um, let's say yeah, right. So it's just the action tags. So let's go to act source uh, and right. So I guess we'll want to. Can we? Uh, hmm. I could just spin over the list of. Oh, I already do this. I already say. Oh, I already spin over the list of. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Oh wait, do I do this? Oh, I don't think I do this part of. Oh. This isn't super important, but I just remembered that I don't think I'm doing the voice timestamp thing for uh for the Twitter data stuff. Um, which I think I will. I think I will. Just because if I'm gonna incorporate the Twitter data voice stuff at all, then I should keep parity. Uh, yeah. Okay. So let's say so let's copy this. Where's the other places where we I probably oh yeah, and the kind of sketchy thing is probably that I do use probably do use voice TS in both cases. Uh, oh no, maybe I don't. Oh wait, do I? Oh no, maybe okay. Maybe I at least had the forethought or foresight not to not to reuse voice TS. But let's all right. So yeah, let's go up to the part where we're processing the Twitter data, which is here. And yeah, what am I? Yeah, right for this voice stuff, I'm just using frame time. So I think just like before, I'm gonna do like this again. So research equals find all. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna replace this with actors just for consistency. So Control H. Nope. Control H. Replace this with source. Yeah. So find the next one. Replace. Actually, I didn't need to replace this one. Or at least I didn't mean to make it lowercase. Okay. Find next. Replace. But then these ones can stay like that. Okay. So, yeah, and then, right, so then all I have to do is just replace, replace, oh wait, so wait, actually before that we say, before this we say voice TS, equals, frame time. And then, so right, so in this case, voice TS gets set otherwise, and then, all right, so now when we're setting the voice, when we're setting the voice key, etc., we don't set it to frame time, we set it to voice timestamp in both of these cases. Oh, okay, I was doing it here. Oh wait, is this? Wait, how far did I hop? Did I hop all the way down to the other? Yeah, I did. I hopped way too far. Is what happened there. Is it not voice key? I feel like it. It's not voice key. What is it? It's voice. Where is it? Voice. What? Where's the other voice section? What is this the else case to? Name not in participation list. Where's the other? There are two sections where we do this voice stuff. There's okay. Yeah, voice TS, and then oh, here it is. Voice. It is voice key, but it's already voice TS. No, wait, no. You jumped too far again. Why is it? It keeps jumping me like freaking. Oh yeah, here it is. Voice LI. Okay. All right. Hiding right in plain sight. Oh wait, and then what's this one? Oh, wait, how many of these are there? Oh wow, there's like a million of them. All right, sure. Okay, there we go. Cool. The that thing's not super important, but like oh, for some reason my stream quality. No, my stream quality is actually the same as it is. It might be your like internet connection, but like I'm not dropping frames. Like I have a steady upload, so like Like the viewing quality might be deteriorated, but it's nothing on my side. It's either on Twitch's side or it's on your side, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because if it's on my side, I could at least do something about it. But sorry. Um, uh, the what was I working on? Oh yeah, yeah. So just as a demonstration, like right. So voices. So like you can voice anything, right? Like here, look. So looking on like the little thing in like the corner of the screen over there, like the little box that says right now it just says hope 0, which is a little depressing. But right. So the way the voice data works is like if I say like watermelon, uh, it will appear on that list as so it'll take this top spot because I just said it, but it has a value of 6. If I say if I say strawberries are way cooler than or just way cooler, strawberries are way cooler, it will now take the top spot, but it'll take it with the value of 10, I think. 10, yeah, it enters with a value of 10. And so those values always tick down. The reason strawberries entered at 10, whereas watermelon entered at 6, is because watermelon has no context. With the voice data, people who actually give context to their voice, like what they're saying, it counts as like that's like the value that well now it's ticked down to 9 and 5, but that's like the strength of the voice. So yeah, so now cucumbers is going to take the top spot because cucumbers and strawberries both had a lot of context, but strawberries was said like what like half a minute ago, whereas like cucumbers are the new hot thing. And so then also so like if I also said like cucumbers are friends to the entire melon family. Then I can spell family. Then so now cucumbers is going to be ranked very high because 2 people have said it. So that's actually what that's what all of those numbers mean is. Oh, and if anyone cares about their influence, this is at least while I have that little thing on screen, you can actually check your influence by because like so for example, I have 432 influence in this game. But together, Protospasm and I have 1783, and like the 2 and the 1, that's just how many people. I specifically set up this data to like not be shown on screen, so I probably shouldn't show it on screen. I just left it there because whatever. Oh yeah, and during an event it switches over to to the other like what computer do I have? It's a Alienware. It's a relatively new one. I got it in the summer, um, and it's like it's more like a. It's not like a Mac keyboard. Like it doesn't have like those like plastic pods keys like set inside like a frame or whatever. It's more like a traditional keyboard. It's flat though because it is like a laptop keyboard. Uh, Oh, maybe that's what it is. It's like a laptop keyboard. Maybe that's what you're picking up on. Uh, um, oh, another fun fact is you can use voice data during an event, even though you don't see it during an event. You can still technically do it. So uh, um, so I can like for example I can set up I or I can say like as soon as we set up camp, I pop open a fresh container of strawberries. Was it strawberries? Yeah, strawberries plural. Right. So what we'll see is at the end of the event we'll see that strawberries has moved up on the list again. That was actually probably a bad example because like it will because I already used it before. I should have used a new one, right? Instead of yeah. All right. Well, whatever. Okay. One more fun fact about voice data, just while we're on the topic, is that it goes by player. So if one player spams the same thing again and again, that still only counts as one player. Uh, which I guess maybe that's obvious, but no spamming. um, Whoa, why is camp the only Whoa. Only camp was showing up on screen. What what? Did I did I do that on purpose? I don't think so. I think I did that accidentally. I mean, I know I didn't. I I guess what? No, I did. Of course, I did not mean to do that. I did not do that on purpose. I did not do that intentionally. But did that happen as the result of what I was doing earlier? I guess is what I meant to ask myself. Um, let's find out. Act keys. That thing where we were processing the act keys. Yeah, because I think like it's basically processing act keys. Not fact keys. Act keys. It's processing act keys. Yeah, every time for voice data. Wow, so that's weird. I didn't actually mean to do that. This is only supposed to happen if this is only supposed to happen if adlib. If curev dot adlib. Yeah, because what's happening? I mean, I'm glad to see that it's working at least, but what's happening right now is that it's limiting the list of action tags down to the list of action tags that people have actually used, which is actually advantageous for like event type 2 like we just had, because as soon as like Cap's Island said camp, then all we saw was camp, and so it was really easy to come to a consensus. um, but I that would be actually make that would make event type 4 like nearly impossible, because as soon as someone said any of the action tags, all the other action tags would disappear, and you'd have to like go hunting through text. Just yeah, I don't know. So that was not intended. That was not intended. All right, so let's save this. All right, and then what? What else? Um, I guess. I guess. Oh yeah, this is my this is my Google searches. Um, so wait, is that satisfactory though? Oh, actually, yeah, no. I can put this whole chunk in inside the inside this as well. Um, I won't restart the script right now, or will I? Maybe I should. There might not be a better time to restart the script, and I do kind of want to fix that. So yeah, sorry. I'm gonna bring the script down. I won't leave it down for too long. Okay. Uh, and so let's do what? Um, hmm. Let's begin setting up the input processing to accommodate our new commands uh, for our gambits. Let's go with what? Um, yeah. So when we're parsing the act source for keys, we filter we go over the act source list once already to for the purpose. So brevity is that thing that I showed us that we looked at about like how the voice data with context ranks higher, or it starts with a higher value. Um, so we're going over Axers that we're going over this list already for that purpose. So I think what I'm going to do here is uh, so if li equals for now I might just be like literal as like just the so like action symbol plus 1 uh, if huh. Actually, Oh yeah. Well, no, kind of. You know what I actually want to do is what I want to do here is I basically want to take one and all out of the action search. Actually, no. You know what? I don't have to do that. I can just the mute list. I can just start the mute list with one and all on the mute list because um, right. It's only like the only time that like actually accidentally using the one or all tags would be like disruptive, or like the only thing that it could actually uh, interfere with is uh, the processing of oops um, the processing of oh, and I should use action symbol, I guess. Uh, the processing of adlib events, like, because if we don't filter out one and all, if those are the commands and we don't filter them out, then in an adlib event, like, they would get picked up as oops, not action dictionary, action symbol. They would get picked up as actions, as yeah, okay, and we don't want that, I don't think. Okay, so good. So yeah, no, just by putting them on the mute list, do we actually do we presence on the mute list will prevent it from getting picked up in voice data, but I forget actually if presence on the mute list automatically. No, but it might not be satisfactory for the adlibs, but it will be, or I'll want it to be. So like uh let's go with what um do I want to use a separate thing for this? Because like this the mute list never gets reset, but I can add to it. I can add items to the mute list in the case where I can add items to the mute list. Um, uh, I can add items to the mute list just by using the purge command. And so if I add something to the mute list and I don't want it on the mute list, like the only way to really handle that is to like reset the. I don't know. I guess it's fine for now, but I might want to change that later. Okay, so yeah, so dot fake, I guess. Dot fake. So instances where I am. So yeah, if key in cur dot fake. Right. So right now we're just checking fake. I guess so. Instead of just checking dot fake, we might also check the mute list as well now. So uh, if a key in cur fake or a key in mute list. I was just thinking like maybe we don't want to use the mute list for adlibs, but I guess we kind of do. Yeah, no, we do. And I'll just be like, I'll only mute things if it's really important that we mute things. That's not. Although, actually, it just occurs to me, like, things can be contextually inappropriate. Like, there can be action tags that are inappropriate for one event that aren't necessarily inappropriate for other events. So, I mean, I could just, I could just, not, I could just not, implement, gambits this way. I could just implement gambits a different way. Anyways. I'm gonna keep having that thought, and just have to keep ignoring it, or like keep continuing on regardless. So let's do what then? Um, we'll all right. So now that we're filtering that data out, and it's not going to be interfering with our other game systems, we can have it so that it actually gets used for something else apparently. Um, I just remembered another feature that I also wanted to implement. I was like, should I do them at the same time? They're kind of related in a way. Oh, not really though. They're not directly related. They're kind of related. I won't worry about them right now though. Yeah, no. The other thing that is this. Did I even? I forget if I even put this on my backlog. I think I did. I think I have a. I'll just. What is the state of my backlog right now? It's probably like empty, right? Yeah. So gambits, yeah. Special recognition was the other thing that I was thinking of adding, but I'll wait on that. Okay. Um, what I'm doing right now might not even be gambits. Even after I implement the system, I might implement gambits later as like a different thing. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. That's what I'm calling them for now, though. Alright, so, let's, oh, the script is still down. Yikes. Whoops. Oh, invalid index. Yeah. That was a lot of parentheses. I'm assuming it's too many. How did I accidentally add in an extra parenthesis there? I don't remember changing that. Oh no, yeah, I did change that since we're starting the scripts. Because like, yeah, the script had been running for a long time. Okay. Fixed. Alright, so I'm getting a little bit better at remembering that I have to restart the scripts. I don't leave it down for quite as long anymore before remembering to put it back on. All right. So let's do what? Right. So let's do something with this data. Specifically, I think I'm going to keep track of it, kind of like the action dictionary. So I'll just like. I don't know if I even want to call this like the Gambit dictionary. Um, because like I said, this might not be what gambits are actually. Like gambits might actually be something completely different. But where the heck am I? Wait, do I not declare the action dictionary? I was going up to look for the initial declaration of the action dictionary, but it's like it doesn't seem to exist. I guess I just never do, which is funny. I usually do that stuff, but I guess I just forgot or just neglected to somehow, for some reason. Um, there's really, all right. I mean, that's like in Python, I don't have to, but I just tend to. Um, that's funny. Uh, so I don't know. I might call it like should I call it the Gambit dictionary? Uh, it's like uh, huh, huh. Event dictionary. Oh yeah, event dictionary is actually what I meant. Oops. Um, I'll just call it like the sway dictionary. Gambit dictionary? No, I'll call it the Gambit dictionary. Whatever. Uh, Gambit dictionary is a dictionary. Yeah. Right, action dictionary? No, action dictionary is something different. Event dictionary is what I was thinking of. And so yeah, so it'd actually be like this Gambit dictionary will be very similar to the action dictionary in that like wherever we're populating uh, wherever we're populating the event dictionary with the player's actions, uh, we'll want to we will want to also update it with their gambit. Wait, why does this say Levant dictionary? Is Levant dictionary supposed to be a real thing? Or is this just what? I feel like this is a typo of some sort. Event dictionary, late dictionary, Levant dictionary. If event dictionary and late dictionary weren't right there, I would guess that it was supposed to be one of those. Right now, it's apparently not doing anything. But is it placeholder for something that's supposed to be here? What is this? Initialize event. When we initialize event, the event dictionary, the late dictionary. Is there another dictionary that we want to be setting at this time? Because if we're not, then like that's dangerous.